Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Neha Sandhu and I scored 7 bands in Ielts writing task, and I am here with this video to help you guys to score the desired bands. In this video, I will show some tips and tricks to frame your essay in order to satisfy the examiner's point of view so that you can easily score 7 plus bands. So let's start. Our first essay is Agree or Disagree essay. This is also known as 100% essay, which means you have to explain only one part of the question, whether you are agree with the question asked by the examiner in the examination or whether you are disagree with the question. So the introduction for agree disagree essay is like, first of all, you have to paraphrase the question line and after that add the thesis line, that is, I largely agree with this notion as dash and dash. Remember, these 1 and 2 are the hints to the examiner that you are describing these points in your further essay. Now, in your body paragraph 1, you have to explain your first idea, and in your body paragraph 2, you have to explain your second idea, and in conclusion, you will give the overview of the whole essay. Remember guys, if you want to know how to frame your body paragraph, it is another video which I will give you the link in the description box. This is the way to write agree or disagree essay to score 7 plus bands. Our next essay is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? This is 70-30% essay, which means you are 70% agree with the question of the examiner and 30% disagree with it, or you are 70% disagree with the question of the examiner and 30% agree. For its introduction, first of all paraphrase the question line and after that add the thesis line, that is, except in certain cases I largely agree with this notion as dash and dash. Remember guys, 1 and 2 are the overview of your 70% viewpoint. You will not give any hint to the examiner about your 30% viewpoint. So next, in your body paragraph 1, you have to explain your first idea about your 70% viewpoint, that is why you are in the favor of the question. In the second body paragraph, you have to explain your second point, that why you are in its favor. And in the body paragraph 3, you have to give the exception case, that is one point which shows that why you are against the question. And last, in the conclusion, you have to give the overview by covering only its body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. You will not include the body paragraph 3 in the conclusion. So this is the way to frame the to what extent do you agree disagree essay. Please note, you will replace the words largely by staunchly and totally. In the similar manner, you will replace the word notion by viewpoint statement. In the same way, you will also replace as by in lieu of, in view of, or because of. You can change the words of the thesis line according to your meaning or your demand of the question. So this is the way to write to what extent type essays. Our next essay is discuss both views and give your opinion. This is known as 50-50% essay, which means that you have to explain both the views. That is, if you are agree with the question, then why you are agree, and if you are disagree with the question, then explain why you are disagree with it. So now I will explain its introduction with the help of an example. So let's start. The introduction is, with the advancement in technology, a lot of transformation has been witnessed in farming sector. Some individuals believe that these changes are requisite to cater the rising demand of food. However, others argue that it could be detrimental for human health, thus opine for traditional farming. In the question, the examiner asked about the viewpoints for the traditional form of farming along with the transformation in the farming sectors. You have to explain both the points, that is, the favor point for transformation in farming sector and the favorable point for traditional farming. So if you are in the favor of transformation in the farming sector, you will add including myself in the second line. That is, some individuals including myself believe that these changes are requisite to cater the rising demands of food. I also give the reason why I am its favor. It is because it will cater the rising demand of food. On the other hand, if you are in the favor of traditional farming, then you will write, however, others, including myself, argue that it could be detrimental for human health, thus opine for traditional farming. My point for in the favor of traditional farming is because the advancement is detrimental for human health. So remember, you have to show your viewpoint by the word including myself. So if you are in the favor of transformation in the farming sector, then you will write it in the second line. But if you are in the favor of traditional farming, then you will write the including myself word at the place of hashtag. Now this is the introduction for discuss both views and give your opinion. For its body paragraph, you have to write your opinion first, and after that in the body paragraph 2, you will explain the other viewpoint. And in the conclusion, you write it in such a way that despite the fact that after writing these words, you will give the overview of body paragraph 2, and after that yet I believe giving the overview of body paragraph 1. So this is the way how to write 50-50% essays. Our next essay is problem solution essay. For these you have to write the introduction in such a way that first of all you have to paraphrase the question line, and after that give the thesis line as it could lead to dash and dash problems which could be mitigated by taking some concrete or corrective measures. Remember, this thesis line is used only for problem solution essays. You will not replace it with any other essay's thesis line. So in the body paragraph 1, you will have to explain your first problem. In body paragraph 2, you will have to explain your second problem. And in the conclusion, you will give the overview of both the body paragraphs, including with the line which could be tackled by the joint effort of governing authorities and individuals. Remember, in order to include these words, the joint effort of governing authorities and individuals, you have to choose the problems in such a way that one solution is belongs to the government and the problem of second solution belongs to the individual. So that you will write this line in the conclusion. So our next essay is cause and solution essay. It is almost similar to the problem solution essay. The main difference is that in the problem solution, the examiner asks about the problems and its solutions. But in causes and solution essays, the examiner asked about the causes of that problem and their solution. So in the introduction, first of all, it's paraphrasing, that is the paraphrasing of the question, and after that give the thesis line. The problems or the reasons for this could be dash and dash. However, it could be mitigated by taking some concrete or corrective measures. After writing the introduction, you have to explain the first cause in the body paragraph 1 and the second cause in the body paragraph 2. Remember, 1 and 2 are the causes that are the answer of the question asked by the examiner in the examination. You will have to write these points in such a way that you have some content left which you will explain in your body paragraphs. In the conclusion, you will overview the body paragraph 1 and 2 including the line which could be tackled by the joint effort of governing authorities and individuals. Remember, you will choose your causes in such a way that the solution of one cause belongs to the government and the solution of second cause belongs to the individual. So our next essay is advantages and disadvantages essay. In these type of essay, you have to explain both the advantages and disadvantages in your body paragraphs. For this, let's how to write its introduction. In the introduction, first of all, you have to paraphrase the question line, and after that add the thesis line, that is, it has many merits like dash and dash along with some demerits. Remember, you will give the overview of only one part of the question. Like in this, I discussed about only merits and make some suspense by writing the word some demerits, which will create the curiosity of the examiner to know about my viewpoint of demerits. So in the body paragraph you will explain the merits, and in the second body paragraph you will explain about the demerits. In the conclusion you have to write, to sum up, the pros of this trend are dash and dash. However, the cons like dash and dash could not be overlooked or ignored. Now, the next type of essay is advantages overweigh disadvantages. It is almost similar to the advantages and disadvantages essay, but the main difference is that in this you have to show that one of the tools are more than the other. That is, according to you, whether the advantages are more than the disadvantages or disadvantages are more than the advantages of the question asked by the examiner. So let's start how to write its introduction. For the introduction, first of all, you have to paraphrase the question line, and after that add the thesis line as it has more merits like dash and dash than any of its possible demerits. Remember, if according to you the merits are more, then you have to write it has more merits than any of its possible demerits, and if you think the demerits are more than the merits, then you have to write it has more demerits like that dash and dash than any of its possible merits. Now, in the body paragraph, you have to explain your first merit. In the body paragraph 2, you have to explain your second merit. And in the body paragraph 3, you have to explain your demerit. It is almost similar to what extent do you agree disagree essay, that is 70-30% essay. Now, in the conclusion, you have to write, to sum up, the pros of this trend are dash and dash. However, the cons like dash and dash could not be overlooked or ignored. Now, our next essay is positive or negative development. It is also known as 100% essay, and it is almost similar to the agree or disagree essays. That is, you have to explain only one viewpoint of the question. That is, whether you are in the favor of the question or whether you are against the question. Now, if you think the question has positive development, then you have to write in your further essay about the positivity of that question. And if you think it has negative development, then you have to explain its negativity in your further body paragraph. So let's start how to write its introduction. First of all, you have to paraphrase the question line, and after that give the thesis line as, in my perception it is a positive trend as dash and dash. If you think it is a positive trend, then you have to write it is a positive trend, and if you think it has a negative, then you have to write, in my perception it is a negative trend. 1 and 2 are the reasons, are the answer of the question asked by the examiner. So now in the body paragraph 1 you have to explain your first reason, and in the body paragraph 2 you have to explain your second reason, and in the conclusion you have to give the overview of the whole essay. Our next essay is, what are the problems and is it a positive or negative development? There are two questions asked by the examiner in the exam. you have to answer both the question in the same essay. So let's start how to write its introduction. For the introduction, you have to give the overview of both the questions. As after doing the paraphrasing of the question, you have to write the thesis line, that is the prominent or possible reasons of this could be dash and dash. However, according to me, it is a positive or negative trend. According to you, whatever you think. So, this is the way to write the introduction of such questions. Now, in the body paragraph 1, you have to explain about both the causes. That is, you have to explain your 1 and 2 point in the same body paragraph. And I will explain how to do it in my further videos. In the body paragraph 2, you will explain the reason that why you considered it as a positive or negative trend, and in the conclusion, you will give the overview of the whole essay. Now our next essay is what are the causes and what are its effect. It is almost similar to the previous type of essays, that is you have to explain both the question in your body paragraphs. So let's start how to write its introduction. After paraphrasing the question line, you will add the thesis line, that is, the possible reasons for this could be dash and dash, which would definitely have detrimental or fruitful impacts. If you think it is in the favor of the human mankind, then you have to write that it has a fruitful impact. If you think it have negative impact on the human mankind, then you have to write it has detrimental effect. So in the same way, in the body paragraphs, you will give the answer of the first question, that is you will explain the causes, and after that in the body paragraph 2, you will give the answer of the second question, that is their effects. After that, in the conclusion, you will give the summary of the whole essay in the least words. So our next essay is double direct essays. These type of essays are almost similar to the previous ones, that is the type of questions where two questions are asked, but in the double direct essays, the examiner will ask you any type of two questions, whether you are in the favor or what are the solutions, whether you think what is your viewpoint about it and what are the solutions for that, or what will you do to cure that problems, and many more. For its introduction, you have to first of all paraphrase the question line and give the outline of the first question only. So in the body paragraph 1, you will give the answer of the first question, and in the body paragraph 2, you will give the answer of the second question. And in the conclusion, you will give the overview of the whole essay. Our next essay is what is your opinion on this? In these type of essays, the examiner will give you one line and ask what is your opinion. Is it your choice whether you will explain the essay as agree or disagree type essays, whether you will explain it in the both viewpoint pattern, whether you will write the essay in to what extent type pattern. So it is up to you how you will express your viewpoint in front of the examiner. These are the different type of essays that usually examiner will ask in the IELTS writing task. Thank you guys.